Hi everybody, it's Casey Williams. Land Rover and Range Rover make a lot of fancy SUVs that are very capable. But the one that we really think of as the true Land Rover is the Defender. That's the kind of basic model that found favor after World War II and was recently redesigned with a brand new body and completely new underpinnings and new engines, and really just a much nicer vehicle. And when it came out, there was the two-door 90 that really did kind of look like the original one, just a lot more streamlined, a lot more modernized. Then there was the upscale four-door 110 model, and now this thing came. It's the 130, the first three-row Defender. Let's go have a look at it. To take a rugged icon of a truck and translate it into the modern times is not easy. But I think Land Rover's designers did a really good job with the Defender. I like the front of it, and just looking at it, the white paint's pretty stark. I don't know if I would get it in white. I might choose a different color. But I think it actually works really well with this design. All this is all plastic, but it looks metal, it looks really cool, and it looks really appropriate for this vehicle. I like the big round headlamps too. On the top, there's little tread pads here on the hood. I don't think I would stand up there. You're probably going to bend the hood, but again, it looks appropriate. It looks very nice for the vehicle. 19-inch alloy wheels with the off-road tires. Just a lot of those little details. It just, really ties it, makes it look British, and can tell designers had a lot of fun. Of course, the distinguishing feature of the Defender really is this kind of square patch here in the back. Again, it looks good. And when you really kind of look at it, it looks like it's kind of the broad side of a barn when you see it on the side. But it's really nicely streamlined, really kind of tapers in. I like this character line here that carries all the way through. And you come around the back, it looks almost like a concept car. It's just really flush. All the lights, they're inset a little bit with the back panels. I think just, again, looks really good. The bumper looks metal again, not metal. Tire here on the tailgate, I think it looks really good too. And not only does it look good, it's just easy to get to it. If you really are going to do serious off-roading, you don't have to climb underneath of it. You want to have interior storage space for all your gear. So, that's the appropriate place, and looks appropriate too. Coming inside, with the third row up, there is not a lot of space back here. Obviously, there is a proper power port here, a home power port, so you can pump up your bicycles, you can get some lighting if you need to when you're camping, and charge devices. But putting the seats down is not hard. Pull the handle, push it down, they all go down. So very easy to expand the space. Second row, it also goes down. And being a very long vehicle, you can load a lot of stuff in here. Putting a bicycle, put two bicycles in here, not gonna be a problem. Just load up and go. Besides having the ability to carry 8 passengers in comfort, I really like the interior of the new Defender. And I've liked it in the other versions we've had too, the 90 and the 110. And the thing is, it's just like the exterior. To take a classic and try to update that and still make it feel like the classic and feel like it's appropriate is a very difficult thing to do. But I think they've done a spectacular job on the inside here too. It's a Range Rover, Land Rover product. It feels upscale. Great big giant touchscreen. This has the Meridian audio system that sounds really beautiful. The automatic climate control down below. Gear selector here in the dashboard. It all works really well. Looks good. And all the materials, again, it's all stuff that if you have a David Venture, you get some muddy shoes in here, and a wetsuit if you're at the beach, it's not going to ruin the vehicle. Everything you can pretty much scrub down, wash down. It's pretty solid. You got grab handles here if the off-roading gets pretty serious. Also have a panoramic sunroof that reaches over to the second row. Looking in the second row, they have a lot of legroom back there, very comfortable. Third row is going to be a little tighter. It's probably mostly for kids on long trips, but I think it's also very good. If I had any complaints, the touchscreen's a little difficult to kind of maneuver through. It takes a couple of days to drive the car before you kind of figure this out. But you do have navigation, all the phone connections, media connections, got satellite radio. That all works well once you kind of get to the bottom of it, but it's just not quite as intuitive as it could be. You got a nice heated leather-wrapped steering wheel. You got heated seats. I do like the flat screen gauges, very easy to see it. And I also have a fair amount of safety equipment on the car. So you've got adaptive cruise, you've got lane keep assist, blind spot warning, and rear cross path detection. So maybe not every safety feature under the sun, but all the ones that you really do need. Before we get on the road, there's a few other things I wanted to tell you about. And I really think this is what makes the Defender kind of special. And really Land Rover-ish things I think are really neat. So first of all, this actually has an electrically heated front windshield. It has the air vents too to defrost like a normal car. But there are tiny little electric wires that run through the windshield. So you go outside and it's just absolutely iced over. You press the button and it just clears it right off. I think that's very cool. This has the train response system, so you can configure the powertrain for virtually any different types of conditions off-road. I think that's really cool. And this also has an air suspension system, which is wonderful on the highway. Just wafts along in the comfort mode. But you can also raise it up for some pretty serious off-roading, to clear obstacles, to ford water. 11.5 inches of ground clearance. So you press that button, it raises it up, and you can go almost anywhere. Okay. So underneath that big fat wide hood is a 3-liter 6-cylinder engine. Delivers 296 horsepower and 347 pound-feet of torque through an 8-speed automatic transmission. And that may not sound like a lot of power for a very large 3-row SUV with all this off-road capability. But it is plenty. So that does 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds, and it can tow 8,000 pounds. So it's pretty capable and it's pretty swift. And honestly, out on the road, it feels a lot faster than that would imply. I was on the interstate, drove a couple hundred miles, and it just wafts along. First of all, the air suspension just really floats, feels nice. Those big fat tires soak up the bumps really well. But the engine is very smooth, it's very torquey, and pretty much whatever rational speed you want to run, the vehicle is up to doing that, and just feels absolutely bored doing it. Fuel economy, it's not really going to matter whether you're driving the city or drive on the highway. 17 miles per gallon in the city, 21 highway. So you got to expect they drive a big vehicle, it's brick square, and that's what the fuel economy is going to be. But overall, it's been a very nice week with the vehicle, and you expect it to kind of be nice out in the trails, and it is that. And it's also very maneuverable, so don't be overwhelmed by the size of it. It turns very sharp. But it's also a very nice highway vehicle. I could see putting 6 people in here, 7 people in here in a pinch, and drive anywhere you want to drive, and just be very, very enjoyable doing it. So the base Defender starts about $56,000, but this one, fully equipped, everything on it, $74,175. But I think, you compare that to other vehicles in its class, even, fully loaded Chevy Tahoes and Suburbans, that's a very fair price. Well, next week, one other fun car. Until then, storm forward.